Hey everybody, welcome to homework 6.5. Sorry about that loud noise, I just hit my pen on the computer. All right, the box plot summarizes the test scores for 100 students. Today we looked at the IQR and the MAD again. Remember that the IQR is best for skewed data and the MAD is best for more evenly distributed uniform or symmetrical data. So what is the IQR for this set of data? So the IQR for this set of data is going to be taking Q3 minus Q1. So Q3 is 95 minus 85, which is 10. It says, would the IQR, the MAD, be more appropriate to describe the variability of this data? So in this case, the IQR is more appropriate because it is skewed left, right? 50% of the data is above 92-ish, right? And 75% of the data is above 85. So these pieces out here are going to pull that data down in terms of our mean, which means that the IQR is a more appropriate measure of variability. All right, calculate the IQR and the MAD for the data below. So we have quite a lot of data here. So I'm going to recommend that you use the calculator here. So we're going to set up, let's go ahead and, set up my calculator. And remember, I actually left my data in here on purpose because I want to show you that if you want to erase your data, you go up to L1, press the clear button, and then press enter, and it'll clear out that entire list for you, which is ideal in this case. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to try and make this narrow and wide both at the same time as I can. All right, that's about as much as it's going to go, I guess. All right, so let me go here and oops, that's not good. There we go. Okay, much better. All right, so we are in the homework here. Okay. So it says calculate the IQR and the MAD for this data below. So I'm going to enter these data values. So 8, 8, 8, 16, 16, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 32. So 32, oops, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32. And something I didn't say today, but it's important to go back and check to make sure you entered your data correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because a couple of you had some calculations that weren't accurate because your data, like there was a number missing or something. So 64 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 64, 64, 64, 64. All right, let's make sure I got all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. All right, and then 80 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we have 88. So 88, 88, 88. And I have 26 data sets, and it says 26 students, so I know that I have the right number of data. And again, just double check to make sure that you've entered all of your values correctly here. So some people drank very little water, and then some people drink a ton of water. All right. So our 5-number summary, I'm going to go to Stat again. That's this button right here. And I'm going to scroll over to the right to Calc and press 1 variable statistics. Make sure you have list 1 entered here and then enter on calculate. So now I have my mean, which is helpful for calculating the MAD if I need to. That's that X with the bar over it. And then I have my 5-number summary. So my minimum is 8. My Q1 is 32. My median is 64. My Q3 is 80. And my maximum is 88. Now a note here, if you have a lot of data, like 26 pieces of data, using the calculator is probably the fastest way to do this. But if you only have like 5 pieces of data, then that's probably not the fastest way to do it. It's up to you, okay? All right, so I have my 5-number summary, and now I can find my IQR, which is going to be Q3 minus Q1, or 80 minus 32, which will be 48. Okay, and then it says MAD. So now we're going to calculate the MAD. So the IQR for this data is 48. That's a really big middle range of data. let's take a look then at our MAD. So first we had to calculate the mean, which we have above here in our calculator. It is 49.85. We'll round to the nearest tenth. Now remember, if you are in a calculator, non-calculator section, to find the mean, you add up all the numbers and divide by the value. So we would add up each one of these and then, each one of our numbers and then divide by 26. So we would get 49.846. We'll round up to 49.85. Then I need to find the distance from each point from the mean. So again, that is 49.85. So I'm going to find the difference of 8 minus 49.85 or 49.85 because remember we're doing absolute value here. So you should recognize that this would be 41.85, 41.85, 41.85. Then we're going to do 49.85 minus 16 and we'll get 33.85. 33.85. Now, luckily, we're adding this up. Oh, I did not mean to erase that. These numbers are the same, so we don't have to keep calculating. I went too far. Sorry about that. All right, so this one, but 32 is going to be 17. So 17.85. 17.85. I'll just make sure I stop at an appropriate time here. All right, so again, I can do 49.85 minus 64 and get a negative and then convert it to absolute value, or I can just say 64 minus 49.85 is 14.15. So the distance here is getting smaller, because 64 is a little bit closer to 49.85. 14.15, 14.15, 14.15, 14.15. Okay, then we're going to do 80. So 80 minus 49.85. is 30.15. So these are all 30.15. Feel free to fast forward through this. This is super boring. Oh, sorry. No, the last ones are 88. So 88, see, gotta be careful, y'all. I got real excited about entering those values. Is 38. All right, so then we need to total them and find the average of them, okay? So you can add up all of these values. You can also go into stat and you can enter it in list 2 to make a separate list that you can then find the averages of, or you can go ahead and use your calculator to figure this out. So to use our calculator, we're going to do second list, scroll over to math. I'm going to choose mean. Then I need to choose the absolute value. So second catalog, absolute value. And then we're going to do second list 1 minus second list again, because we need to choose mean again. The mean of second list 1, close parentheses, and hit enter. And so we get 25.7 as our MAD. So that is, 0.7. I inverted my numbers here. 25.7 as my MAD. All right, it says based on the shape of your dot plot or box plot, would the IQR or MAD better represent variability for this data? Okay, so after you've made this chart to calculate the MAD, it says make a box plot or a dot plot with the data. Now, personally, a dot plot sounds horrible because there's a lot of dots we would need to draw out. So I'm going to make a box plot. And so I'm going to go ahead and go back and look at my number summary here. And my lowest number was 8. This is my number summary. So 8, 32, 64, 80, 88. Now, notice that all of these have are divisible by 8. So I'm going to make a number line that, actually, let me put that a little bit lower. I'm going to make a number line that it's in ranges of 8s, okay? So 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64. Might not have made them spaced out far enough. I did not. Sorry. Let's redo that. Okay. So, all right. All right. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, 88. We'll go at 96. Okay, so 88 is my end value, so that's going to be a dot here. 8 is my lower minimum, that's going to go here. My first quartile is 32, so that's going to go here. My third quartile is 80, that's going to go here, and then my median is at 64, so that's going to be here. I'm going to go ahead and connect my lines and draw the rest of my box plot. Okay. So in this case, most of the data is on the side from 64 to 88. Our data, 50% of the data is between 64 and 88, which means there's less data spread out on this side of 64. And so then this would mean that this is left skewed. So this is a little bit skewed, which means that our IQR would better represent this data because the data is skewed, again, to the left. It's left skewed. More of our data is on the right, less of our data is on the left. And so again, that means that the IQR would be a better representation. The IQR here was 48 though, and the MAD was 49.85. So they're actually very close, and they both tell us that this data varies a lot, right? That our data is a bit distant from our, the mean is 49.85. So the MAD is actually 25.7, which makes the data, if we look at the MAD, makes the data seem closer to the mean, but it's actually pretty spread out, as we can see from the IQR, all right? And because it is skewed like that, then the IQR is going to be a better representation. All right, your code word for today is going to be Gregory, because I'm drinking my Gregory coffee, and it takes me a while to drink it. So Gregory is your code word for today. Make sure to work on your PARCC review packet. I will post a few more questions tonight, but you should be through at least question 13.